And then once we'll hit the continue, right, it's showing the phone number that they'll be receiving, the phone number that they're going to be seeing when I call them. All right. And then it's going to begin a dialing session. So in order to begin that dialing session, the dialing session means it's going to take you through calling each of the 200 contacts that I had clicked on. So in order to click on that dialing session, you have to use your phone to connect into that dialing session. What I mean by that is the phone that you're going to be they're going to be showing you when you're calling out to a customer. The customer is going to be seeing the phone number that you're calling from, that you're using, whether it be your cell phone, whether it be a Google Voice. So in order to activate the beginning of the calling, you have to call in this number from the phone number you're using. So I'm going to do that now, 325-644-8011. It's going to call it. Can you hear that, Cam?
Yes.
Okay. So now I'm activated. Okay. So here's the phone number they're going to be seeing. This is how much time it's going to show me. I'm going to spend the number of contacts I'm going to call, and we're going to start here. And this is our first call. And I'm going to ask them some information. I can put some notes here. Hi, hello. Okay. So I don't know if I heard. I can call them back, but and we'll there's plenty more of those people to call. But this is just a trial. So what it does is after the call hangs up, it'll tell you they're interested, they're not interested. It'll give you an option to follow up. Wrong person, do not call. Right. And so I'm going to leave it as they're interested, but look what happens right after that. It moves on right onto the next call.
Oh, I love it. That saves so much time.
Time, it is. Right?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Hi, this is Omar with Phoenix Freight. We're looking to see if we can save you some money on your loads. Would it be possible to talk
Either
to
way is fine.
Your shipping department, please?
Yeah, you called yesterday. We don't actually do any shipping. We only receive parts from our vendors around the country.
Thanks again for your time. Have a nice day.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. So, Cam, as you see, live answer, not interested, right?
Gotcha. Looking at.
We can pause it, right? Let's see. We can pause dialing at any time on the top left, right? If you need to stop it, the machine is there. It's all automated, and this is just scratching the surface of what this will do.
Fantastic. Hey, Mon, welcome, buddy. Can you hear me,
Hello.
Mon? Hey, buddy.
Let me know if I need to keep sharing, Cam, or what I need.
All right, I'm going to give a little bit of introduction as a couple of guys pop in. What we're doing today, Mon, today on Friday, we always have a podcast from 9 to around 10. We might go 10:15 or so, 10:30, and we introduce new ideas, new devices, new training. And today I've got Omar. Omar's one of our new students, and he is demonstrating a auto dialer that what we do is when I receive shippers list. Oh, that's so cool. Cobra Kai background. Loving it. Yeah. It's Cobra Kai Friday at the old school here. And what we look, I don't know if you can see my shirt or not. Cobra Kai, strike first, strike hard, no mercy. So we talk a little crap. We talk about the movie, talk about the original Karate Kid for those older, some of us that were there, and such. We just have fun because it's important to me. It's critical for me to relive those special days and apply them to freight brokering. So I have Cobra Kai Friday. So it's a flex schedule for training. Train anything and everything you want to do. We do. We just have a wild time. So Omar was able to. Did Mon jump off? There he is again. There he is. So the auto dialer. When I get shippers list, I get them usually in three forms. I get them in what I like to call just old fashioned list, which is just a list. And then I get them in Excel spreadsheets most of the time. Or I can download. What are you laughing at? Or I can get them. Most of the time it's Excel spreadsheets. Sometimes it's just data. But and sometimes they give me an option to choose how I want them. I'm not sure what the file is called, but CVC file or something like that. Omar, do you know what that is?
A CSV file? Yeah.
Yeah. That's the other thing they always have. So can you use that too? Or no?
You can. And if not, we can. It's easy to resave it as an Excel file. But either way, either of the two, the way it could be used, right? If any of the trainees, and if we can upload the data for them, if it becomes an issue, we just want them to learn that there's a dialer available and how it's going to save them time. So either, however you want to work it out.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Okay, now let's look at the see for just a second. So what I've got available, Mon, most of the time I can purchase relevant shippers for the industry. So I'm saying like, let's say I want box truck, hot shot, and box truck, hot shot, and that's pretty much it. Box shot. There's one other short truck, box truck, hot shot shippers. Well, this company will sell me just that freight on an Excel spreadsheet. Like 20,000 connections. So then I could purchase that and I could send it to Omar. Omar, you could upload it, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I can break it down from PDF or Excel, whatever you need, and we can split them, and then we can, if they're not having success, we can have the reps switch calling, however you want to do it.
And they give me a percentage. So like sometimes, for example, right now I'm offering 2020, 2021, 2022 because I have all of those lists. And a lot of times they'll, like if I buy the 2022 and lots of them don't come through, I'll tell them I'll gripe because it's $500. So I'll gripe. I'll say, man, none of these are working out. I call 150. I got 2. And they'll say, okay, no problem. I'll send you some more. And then I noticed that when they send me that new batch, they're a lot hotter. They're hitting better. So that's a good thing. I got a good rapport with these folks. So that's one thing I do. Another thing I do is I call my other my fellow freight agents and brokers and say, y'all want to swap some freight? Send me a bunch of freight you got that's lower price. You're not using it. I'll show you a couple of real heavy hitters on flatbed or van or reefer, and they'll send that on a spreadsheet. And it's usually not a lot, 25 or 30 or 40, but they're probably going to be pretty hot. So that's pretty cool. So I'm appreciating the heck out of that. So you want to start from the ground up and tell. So did we find out if there's a special discount for us, or can we let our agents use it, or is there a fee? Kind of tell us where we're at with that.
Yeah, if we go to the website, let me share the screen and
all right,
talk a little bit about what it's done for me. This particular program, right? From when I started using it, it was really challenging for me to kind of multitask. I wanted to find a way to kind of multitask and get the best usage out of my time, or the most usage out of my time, because it starts to get frustrating when you're calling and unless you're if this isn't an option, this is what I was doing before. Can you guys see the Excel sheet I'm bringing up?
Not yet, but it's when it shares, I should be able to present it.
Okay.
Sorry. Right, there it is. There it goes.
So what I was doing before, and this still works great, right? I had the list here. I had my voice call, and then I have a second screen next to me, and it's not as efficient, but I would copy, paste, right? I'm sorry. There it is. And then I would go, right? And then it would let me know where I left off, copy, paste, go. So there's ways of doing it that are zero cost, right? But there's the benefit of paying for a system like Phone Burner that has some more features that'll help you maximize sales. And so that's why I started using this. I started looking for a dialer because I wanted to utilize as much time as possible, because between the administrational time and the calling time, I needed more sales. So phone burner, how it works. So obviously it tells you that this is probably one of the leading softwares. I've tried a couple others, and they don't, even for a lesser cost, they don't necessarily service the needs that I feel that any phone agent would need. So how it begins is you come to this screen here. You come to the welcome screen. There's your dashboard. It will tell you your call activity, right? I made 3 calls. I have another account that I can log into probably to show you, but it would have spurts and different times and hours and the number of calls you made and also the number of connections you made. So it graphs it for you directly. So this way you can see how productive you are during your call time and how many calls you're making accordingly. So you're like, man, I did well these first 2 days, then I got busy here, or I was on vacation. So it really, really helps. And it helps you identify how much time you're saving by using this system. So you can't really put a price tag on time, especially for the investment that they're asking for. So here's your contact screen. You can always add a contact manually, right, when you click it. But the fastest way is to import a full list of contacts, right? I've already imported about 5,000 because we were playing with the first spreadsheet. But I'll take you guys through how easy it is. And then I'll ask you to, if you need more contacts than 10,000, you can obviously increase your limit by viewing the different plans. This is what it generally costs, okay? So if you go with the standard plan, right? If you go with the standard plan, it's going to cost us $149 per user. Pretty much it gives you the power dialer. I'll explain to you how that works. The CRM solution, the limited dialing minutes. If we had cell phones, Ken, like I was mentioning,
Yes, sir.
It'll go directly to voicemail. If it goes directly to voicemail, I'll show the rest of the team how you can just click a button, and we'll have pre-recorded voicemails. So you don't have to speak. All you do is click a button right when it goes into voicemail, and it'll move you on to the next call. If for some reason, this part of it is amazing too. We can have preset emails within the program. So as you're making a call, let's say one of the customers says, "Hey, please send me your email information." You're like, "Okay." You hang up and you're like, "Okay, now I got to open my email. I got to go in here." Okay. You don't have to do any of that. If we preset emails, pre-template emails, it'll give you an option with various emails on the bottom screen. And I'll show you how that works, where you can click whatever email you want to send them, whether it's a follow-up email, whether it's an introductional email. All those preset emails will be sitting right at the bottom of the dialer. As you guys can't see it yet, but it will make sense. So you'll basically, after they hang up, you'll click a button and it'll send them the email, move you on to the next call. That's at least a minute of time. And also, I think the biggest thing that I've seen is the consistency, just keeping you on the phone instead of moving from one task to another, makes you more diligent to stay on the call. You get some call tracking analytics. And then 30-day call recording storage of any calls that you get back into the system. It'll also record that. This is a little bit more different. So these are just the different plans. They also, if we come to the point where we get cell phones, the CRM will send text messages right after you finish making a call. You can click a button and it'll send a text message. I've used that. I felt that the calling was always best, but that's always an option if we want to move on to that. So we're going to come back to the contacts so I can show you guys how to upload the contacts. You'll click import. If I'm moving too fast, please let me know. I can always walk you through it again a second time, but I just want to give you guys a brief overview. So the list of contacts I'm going to use, I'm going to drag the Excel file, right? And what it'll do here, it shows me the first steps to upload it. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Okay. Okay. Or you can do it this way too. So it's going to do it again. And where did it go? Okay. Let me come back over to contacts and I'll start from the beginning. I was moving a little bit too fast for it. My apologies. And here we go. There's the contacts. We're going to click here. It's going to upload them. So this is key, right? These are the columns. This is the preview of the file we just uploaded, right? It's going to tell you, it's going to sort it by first name. You can come in here and change it as you like. We're going to use company name, right? It populates the email. So we already know that one's in line. The phone numbers are in line and so is the address, right? Save as a new imported template. No, right? And then I already have it under shippers. You can also apply the import to shippers and it'll merge it. If you have already a file that you want to merge a certain group of contacts into, you can use multiple files. A lot of what I'm saying, it won't really make sense until I start showing you the dashboard. Okay, so it's going to merge it into shippers. We don't want any duplicate matching emails. So it'll skip that. I don't want any tags. I don't use these options yet. Do not call list. I want everything imported into the system. Okay. And so there we go. This is what's going to be imported: the company name, the emails, the phone numbers, and the addresses. Yes, please. It's processing the file. Am I making sense? Okay.
So just to clarify though,
Sure.
Duplicate numbers, so like you don't have to worry about calling the same person twice.
Exactly. It'll merge them, or it'll leave it out completely. Exactly.
I like that because I can't tell you how many times me or Dara have called the same number. They're like, "We've already told you no," and I'm like, "Okay, I'm sorry."
Yeah.
Very much so.
So yes, it will. Well, here's the situation with that. So if we all have the same list and we're all calling the same list, or we're all calling off of the same dialer, we can figure out how to highlight. Well, I'll take you to the dialing part so you guys can see how you can exclude anyone that doesn't want to do business with us, right? So now the list is imported. You have to find it in the file, right? That I'm sorry, I'm just going to get rid of this. I'm anal when seeing stuff on my screen that I don't use. So all the contacts went into the shipper folder. Okay. And now I'm moving on to the contacts that are here, right? It uploaded all the contacts. When it has them, I had them listed on the last import as first and last name. So that's why it has them as first and last name. It should have said company. So to begin a dialing session, right? It's going to allow you to choose. It's showing 200. You can lessen that if you like, or you can increase that depending on how many fill you want to call. Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah. So let's do 50, right? Or we'll do 10. And then you'll click here and you select the 10 contacts and it'll say, hey, let's begin the dialing session. Okay. There's can be phone scripts on the follow-up. We'll go more into detail with that. Everything's pretty much left to default here. There's no voice recordings yet that we have. This is the number they're going to be seeing that I'm going to be calling out from. I'm going to click continue, right? And so this is going to be the second step of the dialing session, okay? So this number here, whether it be your cell phone, your Google Voice phone, that's the number you need to call from the phone that you're going to be making calls out to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to call that number here on the predictive dialer.
Click the start button on your screen.
This will work on your cell phone. You can log into this app via web and you will get the screen on your cell phone. I don't believe they have, I think they have an app now. I think they do, but I've always used it on the web browser. Okay.
Okay.
Now you're ready to go. Hit start. And then here we go. I don't know why I didn't import the first name. So this is pretty much the screen, who it's calling. I can change all that too.
That's cool.
Here, look, it's actually over here on the right. So this is who we're calling.
Hey, everything else, can I help you?
Yeah, hi, good morning. My name is Omar with Phoenix Freight. I wanted to see if you guys were interested in possibly saving some money on your loads. Is there someone I can talk to in shipping?
We don't ship.
Oh, you guys don't ship?
Nope.
Thank you for your time. Have a nice day.
Thanks, you too. Bye.
So after that call, right, look at it's going to be amazing for us. So obviously they're not interested, but we'll put a button down here that we can add buttons down here. We can change them and say, hey, they're just not interested. So look what happens next. It takes me to the next place, right?
That is awesome.
Yes, it is. I love this.
Saves a lot of time.
We need that.
Yeah, we do.
So I can go through, you can multitask, right? You're like, I'm going to have the dialer, I'm going to call, and I'm going to have my email up, and I'm going to follow up. So Cam, if there's a lot we can do with this, just to
I
say.
like it.
And look, from what I understand, at $200 for the most expensive one, that's 2 shippers.
Literally.
That's only the price of 2 shippers. I give $100 a shipper. So if all of our core group is using this, will they need a separate $200 subscription every month, you think? I mean, that's not crazy.
I think so. We've got it down, like if we talk to them, Cam, I think we could bring it down like 10% per person. I think it was paying like $120 or something, but
Okay.
yeah.
All right, and we'll have a training on it every Friday just until everyone gets it, just for a few minutes. Now, am I understanding right? If they have a cell phone, you can text out.
So
Tell me more about the cell phone compatibility.
okay, so let me look, because what I seen on their site is and also they're really helpful. They're always there. So the cell phone compatibility, it will have to work where you log on. I mean, I don't know if I can screen share. Okay, let me see if I can screen share if I log on from my cell phone to the meeting. Let me see real quick, because I want to show you how StreamYard. Here we go here. Sorry about that. It's just going to take a quick second.
Take your time. Take your time. Our second guest looks like he may be absent, so you got the whole hour, brother.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So I'm going to okay, so we got this. I'm getting on this. Okay, let me turn this mic off over here. Oh, sorry. Okay. Sorry about that. Let me stop screen sharing. Oh, man, how? Okay. Sorry about that. But in order for me to show you, I'm not sharing the screen anymore in this part, but I'm going to be showing you the screen here. And can I share screen from my cell phone? I think I
Should
can.
be able to, yeah.
There we go. Now, how do I share screen from here? Okay. It just shows Cam. Once you know what, it's let me leave here. A lot like this. It's going to be your web browser on Google, right? You're going to come here, and then you'll be able to click on your contacts. The only issue is that let me see if on the web browser real quick. Give me a sec, because I want to make sure I give you guys the right information, and I'll detail this in phone burner. So we're here, and then we can ask questions here to the live chat. Do you have an app to work with my cell phone? So it'll tell you what position you're in. So let me see here.
So my next question, you're the master dialer now. So
Yeah.
do you know of any platform that does the email forwarding?
I'm trying it on my cell phone right now, but yeah, it's going to work, Cam. It's going to work just like the cell phone. And let me see. What am I sharing here? Okay, so it's sharing this. But
Hey Omar, do you know of any forums to where you forward emails from your email?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Can you say that again, please?
Do you know of any forums that you can forward your email like automatically? Like any emails you see, they will automatically be forwarded to other people's emails.
Yeah.
You're saying yes, like preset emails, right? Is that what you were asking about?
Yes, but not through Gmail.
No. So I went over that in the beginning, but you couldn't really see it unless I was in the dialer. So let me go into the dialer just to show you how it would look. Or let me see if I have my old. Oh, you know what? It won't give me access to it.
Like emails that we receive in our inbox, we need them to be sent out to like 6 other people as well, automatically without us doing it manually. Do you know of anything that would do it like that?
Gotcha. So you're saying that you have 6 contacts that you need to send one specific preset email to, right?
Like emails that we receive every day. Like for instance, our load list that we do during the daytime. Like something that automatically just pull them out of our inbox and send them to those people. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like an automated email. I believe I'll ask a buddy of mine. So it's a program called Go High Level. So you're wanting to get an email. You get an email. And then when you get an email, you want that email automatically from that email address to be forwarded to a group of people, right?
Yes, I want those people to receive the same email. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Yeah, it might even be a setting. What I'll do, I'll find that for us. If that's going to help us, I'll find something for us. Because usually on YouTube, right, whether it be Gmail or a program, that's any email that comes in from this email address, I want it automatically sent to this group of people. I'm sure there's a way to do that. I don't believe it'll work on this one here, but I'm sure there's something we can find for that. I'm going to take a note of that.
The Gmail.
Hey, Omar, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So I'm sharing my screen here. Let me show you what we have. So I've got what I call the core 10. I've got the core 10 emails. They come every day. They come in about 10 a.m., about 11:30, about 2, about 4. These emails, they're going to be coming to every day. They pop in real time with the current load list.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, and this is, for example, Sapphire Lumber. See them here?
Yes.
So in times past, the Filipino girls, they would click the forward and then they would drop in all of the agents and then send it.
Sure.
But they have to manually do that. Problem we ended up having problems is let's say, for example, this is 2 hours ago. Mm-hmm. So there's a large part of this freight that other agents have already received, put on the board and moved. So we need something that's going to automatically, we can put the Sapphire right here. We can put this on the inbound and our whole list of students on the outbound so that when this comes in, it triggers an auto forward.
Yes.
And that's what we're looking for.
Absolutely.
It's times 10-ish.
So, because, right. So I mean, a lot of the things that you're doing during the day don't allow you to see that. That has to happen instantly because
Right.
That makes sense.
Right,
Yeah.
because see the agents, it's like it's not like it is first come first serve. So the second you see that email, if you grab a couple loads to come up on the board and they got reasonable prices, your phone's going to ring immediately. You can book that load, and there's something in the neighborhood of 35 to 40,000 brokers getting that email. And,
Well,
and
Go ahead, sir.
well, I just noticed when I was first starting out, I noticed what I ended up doing is I would take my favorites of each company and I would hire somebody. I hired a part-time fella that when that Sapphire list or whatever popped up, if it was on there, he literally would call them and say, send me that load. And they'd send it, the Raycon to him. And then he had to be that fast because I knew I could move it because it's what I call the hot load, right? So I hot loaded every day. I would give all the agents a hot list. I'd say, when Sapphire, if these loads are on Sapphire, call immediately and tell them to send them to us. If the Melon One company calls and there's Airby, Georgia, and Lisbon, Jersey, get them all. I know we can move them. So what we ended up doing is somehow we had some kind of IT guru come to work for me for a little while, and he put an auto something in the email, and the second that Sapphire came in, everybody got it at the same time I did, and that helped everybody because I would literally call everybody in the morning. I'd call the agents out there. Now I would use a podcast or something, a video call, and I'd say, all right, guys, this week the Sapphire load from, because it's seasonal, this stuff is strange.
Yeah.
It'll be hot and then it'll be not. So I'll be like, and I'll show you one right here. Right here. Warren, Arkansas to Silsbee, Texas, it's always hot. You can always move that. It's 323 miles. It's $1,050. You can put this up for $900 and make $150 all day long.
Well,
So I would tell them that, hey, Warren, if Warren to Silsbee, grab it. So that's what I would do. And it would be auto-populated. So they could watch their email. And when it popped in, boom, one of them would grab it.
I mean, it is so. I'm understanding this a little more. So this is basically business that they're handing you. You just have to get to it first, right?
Oh yeah, this comes in every day. I solicit this business. I've been dealing with Sapphire for 12 years, so it comes every day. It comes and it comes varying times, but usually it comes about 7 in the morning. So 8 in the morning. So you start 7 or 8. When you get to work and fire up your computer, there's a Sapphire waiting for you. Well, if we had auto forward, then when all of our agents nationwide got to work and fired up their computer, they'd have a Sapphire. They'd pull it up and they'd start posting. Our guys would be the first ones to get it because nobody else has auto forward.
Yes, that makes sense. Everyone has to look at their emails or forward them that email, or they won't even take the time to do it. Now, when you're talking about agents, because I'm understanding the industry, that would be someone like myself.
Exactly. Oh yeah. Yeah, you'll be one of the recipients of this email. And I start everybody off with 10 customers. So there's half reefer and half flatbed. And as soon as we can figure out how this auto works, see right now what I would have to do literally, I'd have to go in when the email came in and forward it by hand.
If just until the meantime, because I'm excited about helping you in this way, but this is what I do. I'm going to share my screen real quick.
Okay.
And
now Kayla was pointing out the other day. Kayla's one of the smarter folks in the office. Kayla and Dara, they're smarter than me, way smarter. She was saying there's something built into the email itself, the Gmail itself, that might auto forward if you set it, and that would be awesome. But I can't. I didn't want to do it because I got caught. I'll tell you what happened. Monica, welcome. So 1 year. I tried to do an auto forward thing with Gmail, and I jacked it up or did something wrong, and they shut my email down completely and said that I had violated maybe the number of emails a person could send a day or something. And everybody called me and said, Dr. Cam, what'd you do to the email? And I said, I think I violated 500 or more. You couldn't forward so many a day, or I screwed it up. So I'm just scared to death of it. But if you can show us what you got there that we could do, maybe.
So you're absolutely right. I'm glad you brought that up. So right now, I'll find a way to do that because I know there's a way to do this. So I want to share my screen. Share screen. Okay, so we're here. And what I do, okay, and I'm on another business. There's no shock to that. These are all the emails. Okay, hold on a second. I got to save this real quick because we're moving from T-Mobile to Verizon. Okay, got that. Boom, boom. Okay, so right here, Dr. Cam, can you see that?
Yep.
Now all the emails.
I can see the. There it is. Yeah. Oh my Lord.
Yes, every email, every customer I have is here, and I'll tell you why.
Holy crap. Do you think they want to work from home job, Omar?
Look, you know what? I know what we're thinking because I'd seen your last text, and I have a lot of salespeople that we can work with. Once I start seeing the stuff coming in, then it's gonna be a no-brainer. So what I do normally is I'll highlight, and I can do it for you. If we get all the emails off of your account, which we can.
Yeah.
I can do a maximum of 3 pages on Outlook, right?
Oh, I don't have that many. I got like 10. 10 emails. 20 emails tops.
So, and then what you do, because I'll figure out what we need to do. And then here they are. And then you'll hit a test, right? And I already know 3 pages is the maximum because I've tried it. And like you said, so it's gonna go. It's gone.
But now, is it gonna do it every time the email comes in though?
So I'm gonna automate it. I'm gonna find a way to automate it for you. I'm gonna find whether it's gonna be a software, okay? Whether it's gonna be a software. I know we can't do it from phone burner, okay? But
I think it may be. Kayla hit on something the other day, and my ancestral memory way back in the whisper mode tells me that there's some kind of a pop filter or something within Gmail that you can set and populate so that every time A comes in, A goes to B. And I think it's called a pop filter, but I screwed it up so bad that time I'm scared to death of it.
I have it pulled up on my email.
Cool. Well, tell us what you got, Kaylin. Maybe he can take. Maybe Omar's the genius, so maybe he can take.
That's why me and Darren mentioned it to him. He seemed pretty intelligent. Okay.
Oh, by the way, Omar, they're not kidding. If they tell you you're smart, you probably are, because they tell me things all day. I'm just saying.
No, they're really nice. I mean, and any way I can help,
You don't know us yet. That's all.
Yeah.
So if you go to the settings in your Gmail, right here is the forwarding SPOP.
Mm-hmm.
And then so this is my personal email. So if I add a new forwarding address to say,
Could we drop more than one in there, you think, babe?
I'm going to try at,
That may be it.
I was telling you that yesterday. You said no.
I know. I was scared because I screwed it up one time. I melted down. I melted the whole system down. People were mad at me for a whole day.
Create a filter. Can also forward only some of your mail by. Oh, so look, Kayla, take a look right out. You see where it says add a forwarding address, and then just below that, where it says look at that. You can also forward only some of your mail by creating a filter.
That's it. I think that's what you do.
Let's do it.
From, for instance, Sapphire or
right.
Get you, and then I could send it to Sarah, and then.
But you got to put Sapphire somewhere to tell it which one to forward or to fill all those.
It'll be from is where you would put that. This is my personal email. I'm not on the loads.
Oh, okay.
So it would be anything from the Sapphire Lumber email to, and then the 5 to 6 people that we are doing.
And Yeah, it might even, once you create the filter, it'll populate an automatic email to send all the emails that you've received in the past and current. And if it does, that means the filter worked.
That's what we're looking for. So what I want, Omar, when every time I onboard a new shipper and I talk to them and I move a few loads, I develop a little bit of a relationship. I tell them, listen, I've got an agency network. I'll be your point of contact. Or if it's Omar's customer, what I do is I say, I am the CEO, but Omar is your representative. So either he or I will be calling you. It's a one, because no one wants more than one contact. No shipper wants 185 Golden Phoenix people calling. I almost burned down a house one time. It was Bo. It was Bo from Victory Logistics over there, and he hauls chicken. And he called me. He said, "Cam, what the hell?" I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "I had 75. My whole team is answering the phone from Golden Phoenix. I had 75 people calling one damn chicken load. What? How many people work for you?" I'm like, 185. He said, "Could you please pick one to call me?" Just one. And I was like, oh, I could imagine. I didn't even think about it. But it was just hot load, and everybody got it at the same time. Everybody posted it. Trucks called, and 185 people called Bo, and the phone was like, ring, 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 and it was all my people. And they could only move. There's only one load, so only one person could get it. He gave it to the first one, and then an hour later, the phone still rang. And he was like, holy hell. Well, could you please tell them I need one point of contact? So now, when I call Bo, I say, Bo, what's happening? He's like, hey man, which load are you looking at? So what I'll do that same thing with your new customers. If it's your customer, I'll be like, Omar's going to be your chief point of contact. I can call and check as well. And the reason I do that is when all the other agents call me, like Monica calls and says, hey, I need you to check on a chicken load. It's Bo, Victory Logistics. Well, my point of contact for Bo is going to be me, right? So I call, hey, Bo, what about this chicken load? And then I'll say, now, my agent in charge of that today is Monica, so she'll be dealing with you for the rest of the day. I'm just making sure it's available, what it's cost. And I'll have Monica on a three-way call. I say, Monica, go ahead and say howdy to Bo. She'll be handling Bo. She's going to be taking care of the truck, and she's going to make sure to do the check calls, and that works perfectly. So because I need to be vividly aware of everything to do with those top 10 customers. Because those 10 customers that you'll be populating, we've had them for probably a decade. And they all know me, and so they like for me to be in the mix in case they got to call and gripe at somebody.
Yeah, I'm perfect.
So they will call me at 2 a.m. and say, your truck can't find its destination. Can you please call your driver? He's not answering my phone. So I'll be like, yes sir, Bo. I'll get right on it, buddy. And then I dial them, and they go, what? I had my phone on silent, man. I'm trying to find the destination. I'm like, man, you're 2 hours late, man. Call your company, please, for God's sakes. He woke me up. So that's just one of those wonderful things about being in the freight broker world. So, awesome. Okay, so Kayla, you going to work on that with Omar or how are we going to do that? Hey, Doug.
Yeah. What can we do that, Kayla? How do you want?
No
I'll look at a couple of videos and then we'll circle back in about an hour or two. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's
awesome. Because that's going to save our bacon right there.
Bacon.
What do I do with that? Bacon.
That sounds really good.
Okay. You're good. Oh, I like it. Thanks, Doug. All right. So Monica, what we did today? Hey, Omar, do you mind since Monica popped on with us? See what kind of time we got. We got 15 minutes, right? Do we? No, well, yeah, we can take a few. Ladies, you want to take a few more minutes? Let Omar run through that for Monica?
Sure.
Okay. Monica, Omar's got a dialer here. Is what we're doing today. On Friday, we always try to have a guest with some new equipment or a new idea, or we're trying to, every day and every way, we're trying to move forward. Okay. So Omar has located this dialer that's just amazing. So I'm just going to shut up and step back and let him show you what it does and how it works. Okay.
Hey, Monica, how are you? She's probably mute, but I said hi. Let me share my screen here, Monica. So this dialer, hi, this dialer that good. So this, Monica, this has helped me to make more calls. One of the biggest, I guess, one of the bigger obstacles that I've had is just call reluctance because administrational work. And we know the more calls we make, I mean, it's almost like it's dialing for dollars, right? That's what we're doing. We're dialing for dollars. So this particular program here, it's a software. You log onto the website. It's called phoneburner.com. And the way it works, I'll show you more of it now, but it gives you a little dashboard. So it'll tell you like how many calls you made, right? And we were just using it recently. So these are the calls we made at the times we made them. And there's an email address too. If you click it, it'll allow you to send an email from there. But this is the front dashboard. So it pretty much shows you how much calling you've been doing with the program. So then secondly, it'll go into a list of contacts that you have imported, and we'll be importing the contacts for you, or you can import them yourself. It's pretty easy. You can import them individually, or you can import them as in a group by clicking any one of your files. And you can click an Excel file. It'll bring it right up, and it'll populate the information pretty easy. You can select which of these different fields to choose in order to correspond with your data. Okay. And it'll take you through all the steps right here once you click next. And so now this is a finished product. Once all the contacts are uploaded, I labeled all my contacts as shippers. You can change that according to what you like. And it'll have the numbers, and it'll also have the email address of those that had email addresses. And it shows you here there's over 2,500 contacts. You can show more than that. You can show up to 500. You can show up to 50, however you like. And the way to begin that is, so now this is the part where you're going to begin calling. So I'm going to grab a group of contacts in my shippers folder, and I'm going to click this little button here. So it's selected all 50 contacts in this page. And this is the key button. It says begin the dialing session. So this is the dialing session. We'll be going over some more of this once we start setting up the dialer a little bit more down the line. So you want to click continue because you're agreeing that you want to go through with calling all 50 of those clients. Now it's asking you to use your phone number to connect to the dialer. So I use Google Voice, I think, and I'll bring that up here. Let me use this one because I don't have. Okay, so what I'll do here, you can use your cell phone to call from there, and you can keep it right next to you on speaker, or you can call right off of your computer. You can use any type of device you want. So what I do.
And Omar, I just want to jump in. We got this cool little stand that we're providing the core agent group. Looks like it's part of our package. Mm-hmm. It's a little stand. You put your phone on. It's got a little Bluetooth speaker, so it's pretty good. You can hear it real well. So that ought to work for that, right? So, Darren, make me a note to get about 20 of those, and anybody that does the Diamond package, let's send that as part of the package, just regardless. That way, when Omar teaches them how to use the dialer, they'll have the little speakerphone there, and I'll jump back off.
That's exactly how I use this. I have the speakerphone I have the phone right in front of me, so that stand it's going to help because you're going to be able to look right at the phone and talk to that person. And there's so you'll copy. So it's saying to begin the dialing session, you need to dial that number. So copy, paste, and click here. So now you're connected. You won't have to do any work on your phone anymore. All of the work's going to be done by the dialer. Okay. So I'll hit the dialing session.
Thank you for calling Nicolay Plastics, your Wisconsin manufacturer of the year.
Here is
Our mission is to be the best plastic solutions provider our customers have ever worked with. If you know your party's 3 digits,
Actually, I think you might. Sometime I have to figure out if there's a dial pad.
Please press pound. To reach customer service, press 2.
So you might have to still use the dial pad to get past some of the prompt screens, because I don't believe there's any.
Thank you for calling Nicolay Plastics, your Wisconsin manufacturer.
So as you can see, there's a live answer here.
Invalid selection. Please try again.
Okay, so I'll move on to the next call, but there's some actions here, right? Print contact, schedule an appointment, email contact details. We'll get that all set up. So I'm moving from this call to another call, and I just put they're not interested. It gives you the prompts down at the bottom, so you can highlight if you're coming back to the call. Because all the
pardon me, just jumping in again. I love that it's keeping track of your time and everything.
Oh yeah, it's it'll show you the connected times. It also shows you the history, Ken. Let me see, where am I logged in at under this?
And guys, just so you know, the reason this is so awesome, besides the auto dialer and the fact that we can upload 20,000 contacts off of our Excel spreadsheet, when I send you shippers, of course you're going to have books that I print that have shippers, but I also am going to send you Excel files of shippers, specifically like flatbed, van, reefer, box truck, whatever. When I send those to you, you can send them to Omar. He can upload those for you. And what's really cool is, let's say you want to hire somebody to do cold calling for you. Well, how do you know? How are you going to know? Like it's just the way it is people like to get paid by the hour. So let's say I'm going to pay a cold caller $10 an hour. And they're American, and I hear good things about them, and they can sell ice to Eskimos. They're wonderful. But then I end up saying, how do I know that they spent 4 hours dialing? Well, this is the answer right here, because when you can check your data and it shows you, hey, they were on the dialer for 4 hours and 15 minutes and they had this many responses. And so I just wanted to add that, Omar. I'm going to jump out.
That's incredible. I'm glad you brought that up. I didn't even think about that. That's great. And so look, the recent dialing sessions, right? So what'll happen here is, let's say that for some reason I got disconnected, right? It shows you when I called one dialing session, I spent 5 minutes. I had 3 calls out of the 199 contacts. So you had to, for some reason, your internet dropped, right? You're like, oh man, I need to get back into that session. I don't want to have to re-click all the contacts I had made. So you come into your call history, right? I need to, hold on one second. Let me just, where's the, okay, I'm looking for my Google Voice. Okay, so we'll come here. So I need to reconnect with the session that I was on. So you click, okay, finish session, right? It's going to give you the list of numbers that you left off at. It'll leave you off of the one you didn't call. Okay.
That is amazing.
Yeah. It'll bring you right back to it. And then you'll begin the session right where you left off. And it'll leave you with, remember, I called 3 of them, I believe. I think it was 199 or 98. So then you'll call in again. And then you'll pick up right where you left off. Where's some of the other stuff? So so this is the email settings, right? So we talked about, we'll have an email library, and we can come in here and manipulate it how we want as we're calling them. If they're interested, wrong number, bad number, one-touch emails. Send me the information, your contact information, whatever details we need to send them with our logos. It'll all be here. We'll customize emails, right? There's your email. There's your email sending profile. It's all here. And that's for emails. And then also for voicemail, dialing session. So then we have the voice library. No one wants to hear my voice, so I'll have Kayla or Dara record all the voicemails.
I'll tell you what I do, Omar. You want to hear something funny? I use Matthew McConaughey, or I use Morgan Freeman. And one day I had James Earl Jones, but mostly it's Morgan Freeman. He says he'd come on and he'd say, "This is Fresh Start Foods, and if you know what's good for you, you'll leave a number." It was just hilarious. With Fiverr for like $10, you can get any celebrity voice. And one time I had President Trump on this saying, "If you don't call this guy back, you'll fired." And it was hilarious. I mean, I had all kinds of fun with that. So yeah, anytime you can leave a voice. But Dara, I'll tell you something about Dara and Kayla. They can both sing. I ain't even kidding. So yeah, for those of you that don't know, I know Marcus popped on and Raphael is with us. Monica, what I do on Fridays, in case anybody didn't get the email or the memo, I do Cobra Kai. See, Cobra Kai, strike first, strike hard, no mercy. So it's Cobra Kai Friday, and we're very flexible. We like to throw Cobra Kai backgrounds and talk about the movie, the original Karate Kid movies, 1, 2, 3, 4, Cobra Kai, and we apply the principles of the martial arts to freight brokering. Because growing up, I was in martial arts from a young man, and courtesy, integrity, self-control, perseverance, indomitable spirit, all that applies to freight brokering. And one of those things is cold calls. I mean, the dialer, Omar is featuring today. He's got a dialer on here, and he's able to walk us through it. It's not very expensive, and it does so much time-saving work for us that it's just truly crazy cool. Following up on that, Raphael is with us, and he's got some information on a service. He's got a ton of stuff going on. Raphael's one of my very first, if not the very first, success story that I've had in the Golden Phoenix. And he's got his own business now. He's got his own carrier authority. He's got his own broker authority coming up. He's got a team of people. He's just crazy cool. He's got making money. And that's what we do on Fridays. We do Cobra Kai, and we do anything new, innovative, maybe have, motivation, dedication, tools, tricks, techniques. Like Kayla, for example. Kayla, tell us, just because this crew right here is family, tell us about your first week and cold calling real quick. I just love to hear you tell the story.
Well, guys, my first week on cold calling, my first week in general in the freight business, I've never really worked in freight. Couldn't tell you the difference between flatbed and a reefer, honestly. I received 5 shipper leads. So that was $500 in my pocket, $100 for each one, on top of my small base pay that I get. So,
show proof.
Okay.
We were doing a class last week, and she whipped this out. I didn't even know she was going to do it. She whipped this down. She's like, boom, and held it out. What I do, guys, when someone gets a new shipper, is now I've started for the last couple of weeks. I send them the Cash App, boom, right to them, and it says shipper or bonus for shipper. So I guess it stores in the Cash App. So she whipped it out the other day and was like, boom, there's proof. And I'm like, holy crap, I didn't know you saved that stuff. But anyway, it's good because there it is. So I mean, she's brand new to the industry. Long story short, brand new to the industry, brand new to cold calling, and there's Dara. And the only reason that Dara's at all behind, in my opinion, is I got Dara doing all my other rat killing. I mean, that girl right there, she's like, if you could see my desk, you'd know. If I need something, I say, Dara, help me with this. So she doesn't get to do as much cold calling is the deal. But so Omar was showing us this dollar that looks like it's going to fit really, really well with our being able to upload specific freight. So I have specific freight now. I have a couple of sources for specific freight. I have like, let's say flatbed, van, reefer, LTL, and now I have hot shot and box truck freight. Okay, so I could shoot that to you. You know what? That's part of your program. It doesn't cost any extra. So I shoot that to you, and you shoot it to Omar, and he's going to say, Marcus Franklin hot shot freight, Marcus Franklin box truck freight. He's going to upload it to that dialer, get it all set, and then when you use your dialer, then you're able to go in not only industry specific, but specific freight and dial through it. So one step on top of that, I'm going to go ahead and click my mic and let Raphael come up. Raphael's going to give you a little bit of background, and then he's going to introduce, from what I understand, an entire system of cold callers or a cold caller center for just real reasonable with some, this time it's American speaking people, which that takes us to another level. Okay. So I'm going to click my mic, and Raphael, you have the mic.
Awesome. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir. Here, good.
Okay. Can you guys see me? It looks like my screen's just spinning in a circle right now.
No, you're good. We can see you loud and clear and hear you.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, just sharing a little bit about what Dr. Campbell's saying. So yeah, I came on. So just to give you a little insight first. So I came on last year, sometime last year with Fresh Start, fresh to the industry, completely fresh to the industry. I came in so I came in after being incarcerated. I was previously incarcerated. I went to prison when I was 18 years old, and I served 15 years. I came home last February, and I knew I wanted to get into this industry. You know, I had heard so much about it, but I'm not a truck driver. You know, that wasn't really my thing. And so I was like, okay, I want to get into this industry. How? You know, dispatching, brokering. What do I do? And so I came across Fresh Start. I came across other programs as well, but when I came across Fresh Start in Golden Phoenix here, in fact, I remember when we first started talking about Golden Phoenix, I had shared with Dr. Cam my story. Hey, I just came home. I want to be honest about it, but today I'm ready to serve my community and to give back. So we started learning about, okay, what do I say? And kind of like Kayla was sharing earlier, you know, flatbed and van and box trucks and all these terms I wasn't familiar with. So I was like, man, what am I supposed to say? So I was a little nervous to start making those calls. I think there was a lot of self-doubt as well. You know, am I good enough? Can I say this? What should I say? And but I finally just got out there and started making calls. No more excuses. You know, I was coming up with a ton of excuses in my own head, like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna be too busy today to make phone calls, or I got this going on, I can't make phone calls today. But eventually I just said, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And so I started making phone calls. At first I was making some mistakes, but I think I needed that experience. And often we need that experience. You know, you could read about it. I read about it. I like learning and reading. So I read about it and everything I was supposed to say, but it wasn't until I actually got on the phone and started making these phone calls that I started to really learn the application of what I was learning. So I started making these phone calls. I know I was bugging Dr. Cam a lot my first couple of weeks. I was like, hey, Cam, you know, I just said I called, but this happened. What does this mean? Or what am I supposed to say here? Or what does this mean? And I know I was probably bugging him, but, you know, he remained very patient with me. And, you know, he definitely encouraged me. He empowered me. And he told me he's seen something in me, like, you can do this. And so I just kept moving forward. I kept making phone calls. And, I started finding shippers, started getting shippers, and started also working with one of my family members. My family has a trucking company, and I started making these sales calls. I started getting familiar with it, and I was sharing that with other people, and they're like, man, so you can find customer direct shippers yourself. And I'm like, yeah. So I started working with my family's trucking company, started making phone calls for them, started bringing in a very good weekly revenue for them, started bringing a very good monthly revenue for them. And then I got to a place where I got to a place where I was like, okay, I'm really busy now. I as an agent, I'm calling my customers. As a dispatcher on behalf of my family's trucking company, I'm making phone calls for them as well, bringing them customers. I also had a job. Mind you, I had just gotten out, so I was only a few months out. So I was enrolled back into school, working on my master's degree. And so my schedule became very hectic. And I'm like, okay, how am I going to figure this out? Because timing is important. If I want to continue to grow this business, I'm going to have to figure something out. And so what I did, I started searching for cold callers, searching for sales agents and things like that. I'm sure a lot of people have probably seen it on Facebook, Instagram, all over the place. And fortunately, I finally came across a couple people who were some American and some not American. But I came across some very experienced cold callers. And I worked out a deal with them, and we started making calls. they started making calls on my behalf. They started finding shippers. I would send them leads. Dr. Cam early on showed us how to find leads, like literally unlimited amount of leads, if we just put in the time for it. And so I started to train some of them, my cold callers. Okay, how do we find these leads? What do you say? What do you look up? How do we find reliable emails and phone numbers? And we started going through that process. I started working with these cold callers, and eventually we're able to get into a place where it became, for me, it almost became automated. For my family's business, in about 10 months, I think we're able to raise around $300,000. I was able to bring in a revenue of over $300,000 in around a year. I've been home. Last February was my 1 year home after 15 years. And I discharged parole, by the way. I was doing just a lot of good work. My parole agent and others were seeing that. And so they actually offered me early discharge, and I was able to discharge in 1 year after 15 years of incarceration. And so with that, I started. I was able to bring in around $420,000 in revenue my first year. $420,000, over $420,000 my first year doing this. And really, it's just, I would just encourage people. You got to get on the phone, even if you are gonna hire a sales team. One of two things. One, I would encourage you to make sure you know what you're doing, that you know how to do it yourself, so you know how to direct your sales team, or that you work with somebody who knows what they're doing, who's had success in this industry, in this particular industry, not just in any industry trying to sell you, hey, I'll make cold calls for you, but actually know what they're doing. So that would be my suggestion. Either get on the line yourself, figure out how to do it, or hire a team that's specific to this industry and knows what they're doing. So that's just a little bit about me. I don't want to take up too much of your guys' time. I know I jumped on a little late, but if you guys had any questions or anything like that, I'd love to answer them.
Yeah, tell us about the team that you found. Kind of how if say we want to hire them, how much per hour? How does it work? That kind of thing, Rob.
Yeah. So along the process, as Dr. Cam said, I found a team. I started to put a team together from cold callers to the office administration aspect, to when trucks will call, somebody who answers the calls, who would answer the calls for me, pretty much takes care of everything. And like I said, automates the process. Like even now, while I'm on this call, the system continues to run. It's running now. My company, by the way, is Assured Logistics. And the trucking company that I just started is called Raphael and Sons Transportation. So right now, there are cold callers. We have American cold callers who offer, I think, probably the best rate I could think of. You could look online and look everywhere you want from. But they're starting off at $10 an hour. And $10 an hour, American cold caller experience. And one thing that people always ask is like, how many shippers am I going to get in that for every hour? It doesn't work like that. There's so many variables. First, you got to make sure. That that you got some reliable leads. Secondly, you have to make different points of contact. Sometimes we get very fortunate, and we might find a great customer within a few phone calls. Sometimes you go hours and hours calling, and you might not come away with any reliable customers at all. So it's timing. There's a lot of very different variables, but I would say that these are going to be your best experienced American cold callers. Best experienced American cold callers at the best rates that I think I found that I had ever found. And so there's different services. The cold calling itself, $10 an hour, and then you have the dispatch part. Like if you want someone to answer the calls when the truck calls, answer your calls on your behalf when the trucking companies call, negotiate deals with them, book the whole load, put it into your TMS system or to put it into your CRM systems and take care of all those things. More of the office admin part. We also have a team available for that.
Ralph, what does the admin? Is it all $10 an hour for the whole process?
No, the admin really depends because, mind you, when calls come in from like a trucker, that could be at any time. So your admin has to be available. So that has to be that would have to be worked out between myself, the admin that we're able to place, and that particular person. So whoever is hiring the admin. So there's a few variables for the cost of that. But yeah, it could range. It really ranges. It really depends on how many hours. Because if you only want to hire them a couple of hours, and you're like, hey, you know, maybe your situation is, hey, I call at I work. Excuse me, I work between 8 and 2, and I could work the last 3 hours. So you're gonna want to hire, you know, your dispatcher to be available between 8 and 2 while you're at work, or if you're busy, or if you just want to hire them full out. So there's just a few variables, but no, it's not that one. For the admin part, that is not specifically $10 an hour. That's changes.
Okay, fine. And I'll tell you why I'm asking that direction is when I'm doing my instruction now, when I'm teaching my students, I'm teaching them the 3 valuable assets that have to be mastered to be successful in freight brokering, of course. And that's the way our new tuition / program is set up entirely on days. So Monday's load board training day, Tuesday's dispatch software day, Wednesday shipper receiving for cold calls day. Thursday we do role play interactivity with the through the whole office, so everybody wears all the hats. And then finally Cobra Call Friday, which is flexible, and we do our new devices and things. Now I tell them that in order to duplicate yourself, for example, if you're going to need to be away, like you said, on your work schedule, maybe you're going to be available 2 days out of the week, but none of the rest of the days or whatever. If you're going to be successful in freight brokering, it's all about routine. We need to be able to duplicate ourselves 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, definitely. Because when trucks call, if they ever call, now I'm not going to mention any names, but we've noticed recently that in the old Fresh Start Freight archives, we've had some students that were having some issues. They call their instructors, they call their teachers, they call their mentor, not me, but they call someone else, and no one would ever answer the phone. No one would ever get back to them. No one would email them. When that happens to truckers with a broker, they'll spread the word. They'll get on the CB and they'll say, "Don't call Fresh Start Freight. They don't answer their phone. Don't call Fresh Start Freight. They won't get back to you." So you can't have that. You need, if you personally cannot answer the phones yourself 9 to 5. I'm saying 9 to 5 metaphorically. Then you're gonna need a system. You need to hire somebody, and that needs to be immediately. I mean, as soon as you figure out how to post loads on the board, if you can't post loads every day, then we do have some alternatives. We've got our Filipino call center. Amber and Amanda can definitely get somebody to work with you, but there are some barriers there, and of course, you know, the barriers of being a different language. So definitely, if you're gonna hang out your shingle, and if you're gonna be in business as a freight agent or a broker, then plan to have somebody on duty 9 to 5. And this is one valuable way to do it. One way is to work with the call center in the Philippines. Then Raphael just mentioned that's another way. And let's look at $10 an hour for a minute. What I love about the $10 an hour is if you get one shipper a day, that's I pay $100 for a new shipper. So if you get one shipper a day, that's $10 an hour. That's 10 hours, right? Yeah. So, and what if you didn't? What if they worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and you ended up paying, say, $300, and then you got a shipper? Well, if you move one load, you're getting your money back
easily. So
it's win. But what's got to happen, without fail, I think everyone will agree, is that phone's got to be dialed by somebody, because you've got to have fresh freight every day. Got to have it. So I'm gonna pop Raphael back up there. So I just wanted to weigh in on my 2 cents worth, because that's a super good rate. I mean, honestly, I can't see it ever being any better.
Yeah, no, I would definitely have to agree with that, Dr. Cam. Like, you got to be available. You know, I think a lot of people see the opportunity. I mean, becoming a freight broker or trucking company is like a super popular trend out here. You see it on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. You see it everywhere. But it is a great industry, but you got to have somebody available to either get on that phone and make calls for you, because you know, no matter how great of a person you are, or no matter what your record looks like, if you can provide a valuable service, I think somebody said they don't see in the chat. If you can provide a valuable service and be authentic, yeah, you're gonna get a lot of people are gonna see that. People are gonna see that, and you got to be able. Oh my goodness, you definitely got to be able to answer that call. I remember when I finally started getting customers and I started posting the loads, I was getting calls like crazy. I was getting overwhelmed. I thought I was gonna be able to balance my job and school and freight brokering at the same time. But as these calls started coming in, trucking companies offering, trying to negotiate different prices and going back and forth between one trucking company and another, answering the calls on behalf of my shipper. It got a little out of hand for me. And so, I remember that was something I was talking to Cam, like, when I first started, like, man, what should I do? Or what can I do? And, he's like, you got to figure something out. You got to make yourself available. What are you going to do? And so I started looking into it. I'm like, okay, how do I automate this process? How do I make this process work for me even when I'm not available? And I started searching for cold callers. Some had like some super incredibly cheap rates. I couldn't even believe how cheap they were. And I used their services. And it was really a way, like they say, you really get what you pay for. You really get what you pay for. And so through experience, I started finding out what's worth it and what's not. And like Dr. Cam said, $10 an hour, it may, or I don't know how some people perceive it. It may sound great. It might not sound so great. I don't know. But I know there is some cold callers where they offer, like, the rates are just, I don't know how they get them so cheap, but it doesn't work out. It just doesn't work out. And so when I found this and I started putting this system into place, it started paying for itself over and again. Like I said, within a year, made over $420,000 in revenue. Over 420, probably closer to 500. It was a great year. It was a great year, but I had to have a system in place. I had to pay. At first, I paid for this cold caller. That didn't work out. That I felt like I was throwing money away. I paid for another cold caller. That didn't work out. Just kept trying, kept looking. I knew I didn't want to give up in this business. I did not want to give up in the business. I seen the potential there. Dr. Cam had showed me several times. And so I was like, I don't want to give up on this business. And so I kept looking, and finally, lo and behold, found a reliable cold caller, and then also found a reliable dispatcher, or the admin aspect, someone who was always available to answer the calls when the truckers call, negotiate prices on my behalf, post the loads for me. That was another thing. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I want to post these loads, but I got to do this. I'm in school. I'm working. I don't post loads until later in the day. By that time, it was just getting confusing and overwhelming. And so I found somebody who was experienced and who could negotiate very well with the truckers who were calling, and was always available to answer those calls, basically 24/7. And so I was able to work something out with them, and that's where it took off. And after that, the system became almost automated. I have my cold calling sales outreach team here, and I got my back office, or my admin and dispatcher over here, and everything. And now today I get to just check in. Hey, what are the plans for the week? What calls are we making? What leads are we using? And then, hey, what truckers are calling? What prices are we using? What's our profit margins looking like, and stuff like that. So, yeah, it definitely pays for itself a few times over.
And I want to, and this is where, for all of you that don't know, when you're training with us, we are the background. We are the team that's going to help you get your loads posted and answer the phone and help. Now, that's where the business in the box comes in, because if you can forward your cell phone through Grasshopper and a few other different dialers and such, you can have the phone number you put on your load board. You need to be yourself. Let's say you're at work on your primary job. You need to forward that to the person answering the phone for your company. So let's say Monica's working her day job. She's going to forward the number on the back of her load board to somebody that's trained, sitting at home on a laptop, answering Monica Freight or us, and they're going to have her load board in front of them. They're going to have the notepad. They're going to have a complete knowledge of how to negotiate the rate and get the dispatch software and book the load. And she's going to have worked out a deal with them, either on a percentage or per load moved, which works really well. Percentage of load moves, for example, if someone calls and says, Dr. Cam, and I'm going to tell you a story that actually happened. A lady called me and said, Dr. Cam, I'm at the grocery store. I got a call on the truck. Can you take it? Yeah, I'll book it for you. So I took the details and I went in her load board, opened it up, and saw what the load was, negotiated with the trucker, booked the load, reached up there and put her name in it and booked it for her and got the truck headed toward the destination. And she got through grocery shop and she got home. She took it from there and she never forgot that. And now I don't just put myself out there and say, hey, you can call me anytime and I'll book your loads. But the truth is, you need a system in place to make sure you don't lose money. That's why we invented the business in the box. That's why we invented the Freight Junior. Well, actually, Dara invented the Freight Junior. Because go ahead and talk about the Freight Junior just a second, Dara, because it comes in right here in the negotiation process. Okay.
All right. Well, the Freight Junior is a 10-inch tablet on the Android system. So those of you who don't want the extra expense of a business number, you can actually get the Text Now app for free, and you can do all your shipper calls and cold calls and emails and mass text messages from that to your shippers. Also, like, it's the 20th century, guys. Almost everybody has kids. And we are all the time running like chickens with our heads cut off. We don't have time to do our hair. We don't have time to do nothing. We're at a ball game. We're at a grocery store. We're cleaning house. Okay, who has time to pull out a laptop? Honestly, if you're not sitting at home in front of a desk, you don't have time to carry a laptop. So, me being a mom of 6, Kayla being a mom of 2, well, 3. It's 3 now? It's 3 now. Okay, so being a mom of 3, all the time on the run, doing stuff for our families, working hard for our families. We get a truck call. We don't have time to pull out a laptop. So we've got the 10-inch tablet with a Bluetooth earpiece, so you don't hold it up to your ear like it's a phone. We also have a Bluetooth keyboard that's foldable. It'll fit in your pocket. Literally, the stack of stuff is about this big, and it'll fit in your purse or your briefcase or your shaving bag. If you're a truck driver, do you have time to pull out a laptop? No. This will fit right in your console. It's an amazing setup that you can just pull out anywhere you're at and make a truck call and not miss out on that money.
That's awesome. That's all. And I only wanted to bring that up because we're constantly on that. That's what we do with Fridays. We're constantly looking for material, gear, hardware, programs like Omar was just talking about. Now, Omar, since we got a couple other folks on here, if you don't mind, just take about maybe 2 minutes and show that dialer one more time, and then we'll close out, okay? Because I want Raphael to see it from start, and Monica and Mon, okay? Because this is really, really cool. This is the next generation.
Absolutely. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So now this is taken my dialing to another level, just with regards to being able to have the opportunity to dial and multitask and to get through more calls during the day. I was finding myself having a difficult challenge just staying on task with regards to knowing that the highest and best use of your time has to be where it's going to be more profitable. And it was definitely in the dialing. So I found this app. It's called the Phone Burner, right? And let me higher the volume here. So Phone Burner app basically has a dashboard, has a list of all your contacts, your call history, all the calls that you have made during the time that you were calling. Has a voicemail setup. There's support's great too. They have a live chat here where you can talk to them, ask them questions. They can help you. Also, coming back to the contacts part of it, this is where it starts and this is how it begins. So as you go through it, you'll have different folders that you can set up. And each of the folders, you'll upload your contacts. You can import up to 10,000 contacts and even probably more. And then you can sort them by folder. How to use this software to get you to make more calls is pretty easy. You'll click right here on your left and you'll select 50 contacts. You'll click on begin a dialing session, and you'll use your cell phone. You can use Google Voice. It has to correspond. You have to have another number that is going to be connected to the dialer, and you'll hit continue. It'll ask you to begin the dialing session. This is the number you have to call. It'll ask you to call in order to begin the dialing session. You'll call the number.
Thank you. Once you click the start
So now the
button,
software does all the rest
your
of it.
dial session will begin.
You do have to have your phone either on speaker, Bluetooth, however you're going to use it.
McFarland Pheasants, this is Kylie. How may I help you?
Hi, Kylie. My name's Omar with Phoenix Freight. Are you guys looking to save money on your shipping? Is there someone I can talk to about that?
Possibly. Just give me 1 second.
Thank you. So right here, you can be jotting notes down.
Thank you for
Right.
calling McFarland Pheasants Incorporated,
It'll be all
the nation's largest
print
pheasant farm.
contacts, schedule
We
appointments,
expect your
email
time on
contacts.
hold. My name is Karina, and I can't get to the phone right now, so please
So-
leave a message, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
Once you start setting up your dialer, right? It moved on to the next one. Now it's calling the second one. No answer. I would have set up a voicemail. I could have called that lady back and asked her, hey, what's the name? What can I have Karina's email address so we know she's the point of contact? Or you can put some notes here, inserting a timestamp, knowing that Karina is the point of contact. But it moved you right on to the next call. So, and the next call. So all of your contacts here will be in this dialer.
Dublin Brace Hardware, this is Anna. How may I direct your call?
Hi, Anna. Can I talk with someone in shipping, please?
Oh, of course. 1 moment, please.
So, you can go about it how you want. You can preset here. I'm going to pause the dialer. So you can preset emails. But that's pretty much how it works. I mean, we'll get more training on it. We'll, help you guys import your contacts. Yeah, I don't know if there's any questions out there I can answer. It was real brief, so I was trying to make it as short as possible.
Anybody have any questions for Omar?
Hey, this is Marcus. So, just a curious question. So, we add all of our contacts in once we receive the shippers, correct?
Correct. You add all your contacts. You can send emails from it as well too. It acts like a CRM too from your dashboard, and it records everything, every call I made, every email, the amount of calls. Yeah. So, and you can also, within the dialer, you can set task reminders, right? To make sure that you call that person back. There's a lot you can do in here, and we're just scratching the surface, but we'll go more into detail. And we'll have a lot of presets, meaning preset emails that you can click right after you finish that phone call with that individual. It has a text message app. Yeah. But you do upload all your contacts into that program.
Okay.
Or all the contacts you want to call.
Marcus, also, I want to reiterate too, the primary reason that I'm showing this today, I'm going to walk through something real quick. When I purchase what I know to be reasonably decent contacts, okay, I get them. I'll go ahead and share my screen here. I get them from a variety of sources. One of those is, say, example, Load Pilot, okay? Load Pilot's got some pretty reliable sources. Now, when you came on board, I might have told you this already, you're going to have 2020, 2021, and 2022. I'm going to provide you with those free of charge. It's 30,000 shippers from each, right? So let me show you what this looks like real quick. So this is just Load Pilot. I've got over a dozen different places that I do purchase, but from Load Pilot alone, I think Load Pilot's like number 3 most reliable leads. They spend some time. What's the word I'm looking for? They do spend some time vetting their leads out, so that they know that the majority of their people that they're working with use freight agents, freight brokers, things of that nature. Now you see there's some they've got some pricing where you can be like paying by the month or whatever. I don't do any of that. I just buy at the beginning of every year. As a matter of fact, before let me go to buy now. I keep forgetting where I'm going. Buy now. So $600 a year, I think they charge at the beginning. Now they're constantly looking for new leads. So they've got a team out there constantly looking for new leads. So what I do is I buy their 2020, 2021, 2022. About December, I will call them and pay for the new list and get the list, and it comes in, there it is, 30,000 shippers. Now you can see right here it's $500 for the 2022, and the 2021 is $374. This list comes in an Excel sheet, and it comes in broken down already in flatbed, van, reefer. It's very detailed. So then you can send that Excel file to Omar. Or I mean, if you got your software yourself and Omar works with you, you can upload it, and you upload and say, like for example, the one that's real popular right now is box truck, short truck, hot shot. So hot shot and box truck's real hot right now. So I'll take that Excel file for just hot shot and box truck, and I'll have Omar help me upload it, and say Monday I'll just dial all hot shot, box truck Monday. Then I might do all reefers on Tuesday. Then because it's categorized, see. And I might do all flatbed on Wednesday, whatever system. But you kind of get in the groove that way. You can get in a vein on your recruiting. You might even go so far as if you're hiring somebody to do the calling for you, you might say, how much do you know about the trucking industry? Well, I got a brother-in-law or I got a dad or whatever that was in trucking for 40 years. What was he driving? Oh, it's flatbed. So you naturally, that person's going to know a lot about flatbed. And you might say, okay, well, I got an industry-specific flatbed list. So maybe get a hold of Omar, and Omar will upload the flatbed list, put that guy on the flatbed. And then someone else, maybe Raphael gets you a cold caller, and they say, I know everything there is to know about refrigerator freight. Okay, then you send them the refrigerator freight list. So you can narrow this thing down, and you can work with it so that you can really get the most bang for your buck. And that's what really impressed me was I generally provide at least 2 years, sometimes 3, 2020, 2021, 22, on an Excel sheet. And most folks go through it, print a little bit of it, go through it. They don't really get the value I think they could out of it as they can through this dollar. So that's where I'm at with that. Right, Omar?
Yeah, absolutely. You'll it helps just the pausing in between, right? Dialing the next call. We have a lot of feelings how the last call we felt. Just like Raphael was mentioning, you just have to do it, bite the bullet, and within a few weeks' time, you'll be really good at it, and you'll be seeing massive returns. So.
Okay, so that's about it. We've been about an hour and 33 minutes. And look, I got to tell you guys, I am excited because this Friday thing, it's very flexible. We're very, you see, I like to do the Cobra Kai thing, and I like to have a lot of fun. Life is not all about work. You should try to flow. You should try to, add a little smile, add a little fun to your day. And we do that on our Flex Fridays. I will have this has been recorded. Of course, it went out to Facebook. It's gone out to LinkedIn. It's gone out to YouTube today. Do me a humongous favor and tell everybody that you got in your Facebook family that we do this every day at 8 a.m. We do a little what I call a motivational tip of the day. But Fridays we do a full hour completely free of all this new innovative technology. So this is not something I'm trying to hoard just for the Golden Phoenix family. It's not something I'm trying to hold back as a secret. We are trying to get the word out. That's why it says free training sessions. Friday, anybody on the planet that wants to tune in on Friday, I'm going to be sharing. Try to share something new every Friday. So friends, family members, loved ones, competitors, anybody out there that say, hey, jump on over there on the StreamYard. I can hold up to 10 people. So I got 3, 6, I got 8 people today. We can hold 10. And then, of course, if you're on Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube and want to follow us, you can see us. You can see us there. So, Dara and Kayla, is Kayla still with us? Did she step off? Oh, okay. Anyway, I'll let you girls talk a little bit and sign off. And God bless you guys. Monica, Raphael, and Marcus, I can't thank you guys enough for attending. Omar, man, we're going to change the world with that dollar, brother. I can see it already. And again, everybody is appreciated that showed up and appreciate it. I'm going to send everybody that wants a copy, email Dara or Kayla, and they'll get you a copy of this. I'm going to turn it into a YouTube next, and then you can get a copy. Okay. So anything we covered, you'll be able to like zoom back to it and check it out. Right. So I am officially.
Dr. Cam, thank you. Omar, everybody who showed up, thank you guys.
Absolutely. Raphael, how do we get in contact with you? Can you put that in the chat, bud?
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat right now.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming. Omar, man, that thing is amazing. And thank you for helping us figure out how to auto forward our emails. That's a big help. We looked all day yesterday to try to find a forum that done only that, and there's not one. So,
Glad we can help for sure.
Also want to shout out to Monica, one of our students. She is the only one that popped in. So proud of you. Cannot wait to see you this week.
Right. I'm so ready.
Are you going to still train at 2:00 with Dr. Cam?
Yeah. Oh, okay. With Dr. Cam. I thought it was with you.
No, it's with Dr. Cam.
Oh, is it 2 or 1? I thought it was 1.
Is it 2, I think.
It's
2 to 2:30.
See what happens? They're kicking me to the curb already, Ralph.
No.
Yeah, I see it.